Okay, so I see Starlight's already here. Starlight's like one of the first. And okay, starting Periscope here. Hello, my friends. Great gold on Periscope. Come on, guys. Come on in on YouTube. Come on in on YouTube, my friends. Let me just set up my channel here and make sure we are broadcasting on YouTube. Hello, Drac is early. Eagle soars. There you go. Okay, so everyone, welcome on Entire Meyer. Hello. Hello all. And I had so many adult beverages that I said, I am not going to sucking try to play piano. It's not going to work out. So I tried and I said, too much adult beverages. So not going to work. So we're going to skip the piano portion here because the adult beverages are very potent. Hello, Eagle Swords. And who else is... okay, let me... I didn't even ring up Periscope here. Hold on a second. Hold on, Periscope people. There's a few of you here, and I haven't checked it out. Okay, here we go. Give me a second here. Okay, now we're live here on Periscope, and I don't know who's here yet because I can't see, but we're here in any case. So welcome, my friends, and I've had. Like I said, I've had so many adult beverages on in real life, so piano playing is going to be postponed. Hello, the Great Gold is on here, and Lighten Up is on Periscope. So hello, Starlight. So first of all, I wanted to thank my supporters on both YouTube and Periscope. Because my YouTube channel is kind of like popping right now. Hello AMG, my YouTube channel is popping, and it's been amazing. Hello Mountain Mouse, how are you doing? It's been amazing how the YouTube channel has been growing. All of a sudden, been going very very quickly, at a very very fast pace. So it's kind of exciting, and I'm getting a good number of new subscribers every month. And by the time we get to October, the beginning of October, I expect we'll be at least 2,500 subscribers. And certainly over 3,000, maybe 3,500 by December. So it's going really, really fast, and it's like accelerating. So it may even go beyond that, but it's accelerating. So the last couple of months is like YouTube said, oh, we want to pay attention to this guy. So the algorithm, we've actually finally triggered the algorithm. The algorithm is now our friend for a while. So the algorithm on YouTube is our friend right now. Hello, guys from YouTube. Who's on YouTube here that I haven't said hello to? We have people who are not. If you're on YouTube, please say hello. You're not saying hello on YouTube. There's some quiet people on YouTube, and we don't like that. We like people to speak out. So we want you to be asking questions about our topic. Hello, Wavy 303. That's a new person here. And of course, I already said hello to Eagle Swords, and hello also to the people on hello Gemini Cartel, and welcome to all the people on Periscope. E.T. Buck, Mountain Mouse. Who else have said any comments on Blacker Privilege? I'm on YouTube, but comment here. Okay, Mr. Stips. Hello, all of you on all. Hello, Joe Smith, Reflections. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's back. Bruce Lee's back. Scarf season is right around the corner. Yeah, it's kind of hot right now. For change, we're like getting heat. Like in the fall, we get the heat. In the summer, we get the cold. It's like the summer was like fall here. The entire summer was pretty cool. So I was like freezing when we go out sailing. I have to wear something warm. Okay, so anyway, hello, Furluzzi, Gemini Cartel, and Joe Smith, and Reflections. So welcome on all of these platforms, and welcome to those who are on YouTube and Periscope. Luminosity Inc. So the topic tonight, and I'm not playing piano because I've had a few adult beverages, and I tried playing piano and I said, I don't think I'm going to be successful. So the adult beverages have kicked in, and it's not going to work. We are discussing something from Intel, and the topic is that there's a elephant in the room when it comes to Intel. Okay, elephant in the room. And many of you already know this. You've heard me talk about this. But it's something that I haven't really mentioned in a while. And I've been talking about this for 4 years, 3 at least. So some of you are very familiar with this, but it's amazing what's been going on, and it's been so quiet for all these years that nobody actually cares about the fact that your Intel computer has a backdoor. And when I mean Intel computer, I mean your Mac, and your Windows computer. I DM'd you timely topic for tomorrow. What is a timely topic for tomorrow? What did I miss there? Of course, I haven't been home, so if you just DM'd me right a moment ago, then I won't, in the last couple hours, then I won't know it. Intel Management Engine, question mark? It's called AMT. We're going to talk about AMT, Advanced Management Technology, otherwise known as vPro, which is part of the Intel Management Engine. Right, I don't know why some people call it Intel Management Engine when vPro, the whole thing is called vPro, meaning it's if you have vPro, then you have all these features. If you have AMT, it's the specific thing we're talking about tonight. And then the whole, I don't know where vPro is in terms of which is the bigger umbrella, so to speak. Intel Management Engine or vPro. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure which one, but I've seen some people refer to the problem as more of a IME, Intel Management Engine problem, when for years I've been talking about it as AMT, Advanced Management Technology. That's what it is. It's like this secret thing called Advanced Management Technology, and you want your computer to be so advanced, and they actually did make it so advanced, and so now they have Intel Advanced Management Technology, AMT, which is part of vPro. vPro, if your chip has vPro, then it has AMT. What's Dell 1.3, i3, so it's a POS anyway. So anything with Intel chip. Okay, well, we'll talk about this, so you understand the implications of this. But in case you didn't know, Intel vPro, or AMT, has been part of Intel chips since 2007. 2007. Now, they weren't so advanced in 2007, so I'm gonna guess they got to their current level, maybe let's say 2010, maybe 2011. and then from there, we've had it for many many years, and nobody complains about it. Nobody complains about it. I'm shocked. And here we are talking about phones and having backdoors in phones and having the ability to get into the phone, and nobody talks about the computer. And it's like, Zuck, this is one of the biggest issues with computers, and it's been around for a while. And I talk about it every so often, and it's in my video on how to set up a new PC. It's one of my videos, and again, it's one of the things that nobody talks about. And I don't think that video got a lot of views, and I don't think people care. Hello, Savvy. Hello, Sam. My right ear is infected. Boy, you got me confused there. I thought you may have misread that, and I thought your computer is infected. No, your ear. Your ear. Well, fortunately, I'm in mono, so it doesn't matter. I'm not talking to you in stereo. There's only my microphone. Well, I hopefully you get better. Hello, Sam. Hello, Sam. So anyway, one of the things that you need to worry about is if your Intel chip has vPro. I was about to watch that video. Does it cover IBM laptops too? Not sure what you mean by that. Lighten up, because the video about how to set up your new PC doesn't really distinguish between a Mac and a PC. So I'm not sure exactly what you mean there. Hello, Wavy303. Hello. I think I missed Wavy303. The 8088 microprocessor has 16-bit registers, the 16-bit internal data bus, and 20-bit address bus. Oh. I thought you're telling me something new. Okay. I had to reread that to make sure I understand. So here's what happened, and it's kind of shocking in a way that we let this go, and it's certainly a concern to me. It's been a concern to me for many years, and only one company has said we need to address this, and that company is called Purism. Purism is actually, well, that's not true. Two companies have addressed it. The other company is System 76. And they said, enough of this ZocQ Intel. We're going to figure out a way to get rid of vPro. And they call it the Intel Management Engine. So just to be generic here, to make sure that we are in sync with the other websites and companies that are working on this problem, they're calling it the Intel Management Engine, IME, which is not consistent with the way Intel calls it on their website. On their website, it's called AMT, and the feature that we're talking about is part of a feature called vPro. Randy, I'm being zucked right now. Good. Okay. I hope you're happy being zucked. Okay, so what exactly is Intel Management Engine, and specifically AMT, which is part of this family called vPro? So if you look at your chip, so you have to kind of look at the chip in your computer. You have to actually go to the Intel website and plug in you go to About on your Windows computer, and you go and see what kind of chip you have. Then you have to go to the Intel website and see what the features are of the chip that you have on your computer. And as it turns out, so my older MacBook Pro, as it turns out, my old MacBook Pro falls into that category. And I look at it, and it says, oh yes, this version of the chip has vPro, and which includes Intel Management Engine or Advanced Management Technology. John says hello. Wow, that's better resolution on YouTube. Thank you. Uh, I'm being zucked. I'm sorry. I'm had adult beverages here, so I'm confused with the comments. So, one of the things that is interesting is which chips have AMT. AMT is the feature we're talking about. AMT is a very specific feature because it is a backdoor to your computer. A backdoor, and I'm going to tell you exactly what this means, what the backdoor means, and what the backdoor has, and what they can do with the zucking backdoor, because it's incredible what they can do with it. So the device that we're talking about is any Intel chip made since 2007. Now I think from just doing a cursory check of chips, I found that i3 chips, if your chip is more of an i3 level, meaning the cheaper ones, then you may have escaped vPro. The 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 i3 chips seldom had vPro because I guess they wanted to make it cheap and they didn't want to put any special features on it. But if you have an i5 and above, chances are it had a vPro on it until about 2017, guaranteed. Guaranteed. If your computer is from Intel, if your chip is from Intel, your CPU chip is from Intel, and that includes a Mac and a PC, and it was made prior to up to 2017, the chances of having vPro, and it's an i5 and up, the chances of having vPro or AMT is about 100%. 100%. Now, what's so funny is that I checked. I've gotten a couple of computers in 2018 and 2019. So I bought a computer. I bought a laptop in 2018 and bought a laptop in 2019, and in those 2 years, I found out that the particular chip that I have does not have vPro. So I have this computer right here. I'm broadcasting on a HP Spectre X360, and this one is a 8th generation chip, and my last one was a 7th generation chip, which is what's vPro? I'll tell you, Blab. I'll tell you. Get your cheeseburger eating out of here. What the zuck does that mean? So, so my Intel computer. This is a this is a HP Spectre X360 13-inch, and I have two of these. One from this year, one from last year, and this does not have vPro. And the one in the prior year has no vPro either. So since 2018, 2019, Intel has said that we're not going to put vPro on the consumer products. And that was the first year they zucking did that. And they were putting vPro on every consumer product until the last 2 years, 2018 and 2019. And if you are buying a desktop kind of processor like a Xeon or anything in the upper range of CPUs from Intel, like for gaming, then 100% possibility that that still has vPro. vPro is spelled VPRO, not VIPRO. VPRO, or the that's a general family name on Intel, and the specific feature we're concerned about is called AMT, Advanced Management Technology. Is vPro a good thing? Zuck, no. Mark, no. vPro or AMT is a zucking backdoor to all zucking computers, built by Intel since 2007. It's a backdoor. Who has access to this backdoor? Who can access your computer through this backdoor since 2007? With exceptions only coming up in 2018 and 2019, or slow computers or Celeron computers. If you have a Zucking Celeron, then you're Zucking safe. If you have an i3, you're safe. But if you have an i5 or an i7, you are zucked. And I don't know about i9s, but if you have an i7 or i5, you are definitely zucked. Spanish. How are you doing? And three-letter agencies definitely have access to this backdoor. Says MG Best Productions. And I will tend to agree. I can't imagine why they wouldn't. Okay, so what the zuck is, what did Intel have in mind? And when you actually understand what AMT is, you're going to say, zuck this. Zuck this. And lighten up the XPS 360 is slightly slower than an Dell XPS. And the reasons have to do with, I believe, with heating. So the Dell XPS is better at controlling the heat on the laptop. So the XPS is slightly faster, but the form factor of the this model, which is the X360 Spectre, it's much better. It's kind of like having a MacBook, so it's much more solid. The XPS has the camera at the bottom, which is kind of weird. So other than that, the XPS is a fine computer. So, and it's a little bit more expensive for the price. I'm choosing the X360. So if I'm going to do a review of computers, I'm going to say HP Spectre X360 has been my choice. I have three of these. I have three HP Spectre X360s. They moved the camera up because the camera was at the bottom. Not since last year. Last year, December's model was still on the top. What did you say, Randy? I got a i3 540. What the zuck is a i3 540? What is a 540? Hello, Drac. My father-in-law told me about this a few years ago, and I didn't believe him, and I guess I should have listened. Yes, if you're listening, let me just tell you exactly what Intel Management Engine is. It's on my video, and I talk about it in a kind of a cursory way on my video on how to set up a brand new computer. And this is a very, very big concern to me, and it's and every time I buy a new computer, I go to the Intel website and check to see if it has AMT on it. Now, again, the terminology is different. Depending on the whoever's talking about it, some of them refer to this problem as IME, Intel Management Engine. Some of them refer to it as vPro. And the actual feature, the specific thing we're talking about, is called AMT, Advanced Management Technology. So either one of those names, Intel Management Engine or AMT, they mean the same thing. So we're talking about the feature that we're talking about tonight. And that feature is, in case you didn't understand, I'm going to tell you what it means exactly. If you have AMT on your Intel computer, laptop, and I don't care if it's a zucking Mac or a zucking Windows computer, someone can take over that computer if the computer is plugged into power. Let me repeat this in case you don't understand this. Let's say you're not at home and your computer is plugged into the power supply and it's connected to the network on Wi-Fi, and you turned it off. many of you don't turn off your computers, but let's just assume that you were being extra nice and you said, I'm going to turn off my computer. So it's powered off. Let me just explain what AMT means. AMT means that a remote operator can turn on your computer from an off position. So if your computer is off, someone from a remote area can turn it on. Now, what can they do when they turn it on? Well, when they turn it on, they can access your zucking drive, the entire C drive. They can see everything on the C drive. More than that, they can install a new system on the C drive. They can choose to update your Windows. They can choose to install Linux and replace everything on there. They can do anything on your computer when they have access to it from AMT. They can look at your hard drive data. They can see what's on your hard drive. They can load a virus if they so choose. They can reboot your computer. They can do anything. They have administrator rights with no restrictions on the hard drive. MacBook Pro, my MacBook Pro has zucking AMT on it. I have a MacBook Pro. I don't use it for production now. I only use it for submitting apps to Apple. But I have a MacBook Pro with zucking AMT on it. So there we are. We're all zucked. Now, let's give Intel the benefit of the doubt and say, why did they do this? So again, if you did not watch my video, Cybersecurity is not privacy, I want you to watch that. You know, not a lot of people watch that video because they don't really understand the difference between cybersecurity and privacy. Cybersecurity means that some entity says we want to protect our computers from hackers, but that entity does not care if they hack you. It's like cybersecurity for corporations, but not for the individual. They don't care what happens to you. They have no sucking care what happens to you. So, Intel put in AMT, Intel Management Engine, Advanced Management Technology, for corporate users. It's for the enterprise. The intent is that if you talk to IT and they say, well, my computer is zucked up, what do I do? And instead of saying, well, why don't you give us your computer, we'll fix it for you. Intel said, oh, hey, heck, why don't you just tell them you can fix it remotely? You'll replace the image of the computer remote. Just leave it in the office or leave it there, and we'll take care of it. By the morning, you'll be in good shape. And this is what they do. So your computer is sitting somewhere plugged in, and someone with the software for Intel Management Engine logs into your computer and then will access your entire computer with all the contents in there, and they can see everything. They can check your C drive and check all the drives and see what you have in there. And they say, oh, okay, we're going to reload Windows on this computer with the proper settings, the way the corporation wants, and reinstall everything. And we're going to do it with a script. And they start loading all the software on it remotely. And this is what the computer turned off initially. They can turn it on. And then they can update everything on it. But whoever has this software from Intel, including hackers, can actually access everything on your computer with a zucking backdoor. And this includes Hillary Clinton's computer, Trump's computer, anybody else's computer, Anyone that uses a computer with a sucking Intel AMT, some third party could access that and control it completely. This is so zucked up, I don't know what to tell you. What the zuck? I'm buying a consumer computer. I am not part of any corporate world. Who the zuck has the right to come into my computer's back door and do anything to my computer? I'm going to tell you exactly how this works. Okay? I'm going to tell you exactly how this works and how Intel did this. So what they did, this is what Intel did. They said, wow, we need to appease our corporate customers because our corporate customers do not want to work too hard to maintain the computers of the employees that work for this corporation. So what we're going to do is make it easy for you by giving you a management tool for every computer for your network. So what they did, this is what Intel did. So there's this Intel chip. Let's say your chip is an i7, 7th generation i7 from 2017. 7th generation Intel chip. So they said, how do we, how is that controlled? They don't really care about the main chip there, that 7th generation. They put a smaller chip. The smaller chip doesn't do much. It's probably some simple computer like, at the level of maybe a Raspberry Pi. It's a very tiny computer, and it's a coprocessor. So every Intel chip with AMT on it has two sucking CPUs. There's a big CPU and there's a tiny one on the side. And this tiny CPU is attached directly to the drive. It has access to the drives. It has access to the same I/O. It has access to the same everything that computer, the main chip, has access to. The other thing that little chip has access to is the network card. So it can turn on the network. It has its own network. Can turn on the second network based on the data from the main chip, and then access the drive, the C drive, on that little chip. That little chip is in every computer that has AMT. Okay, let me just read this comments in case I missed some here. Mark Ranger says, Intel better protect the hell out of that backdoor. Sounds like it. That backdoor has been hacked a few times. Is there any way of disabling vPro? Yes. I'm not sure if it really disables it, but there are some tools for disabling it on Windows, but there's no tool for disabling it on a Mac. It should make you mad. It should make you mad. And this has been going on since 2007. And I've talked about it for years, and I just can't get people angry enough to say, fuck you, Intel. We're going to stop buying Intel until you fix this. So they did. I checked, last year's computer when I bought this laptop that I got, and it does not have AMT on it. I checked which chips have AMT on it, and the desktops have AMT, but they took the AMT out of the consumer processors. What do you think about the Note 9? I'm not thinking about it. We have the Windows instructions to remember. I ordered Casio Privia. Now I have to learn how to play. Narisco, how are you doing, Narisco? Are those chips in a 8-year-old Windows 7 PC? Yes. Since 2007. Yes. What am I missing here? Okay, so did I miss any comments on how do I know if my Mac has AMT? So here's how you know if your computer has AMT, whether it be a Mac or a PC. Find out what your chip number is. So i7 this and that, whatever the number is, 7 this, 8 that, whatever the series is of the or 5, the number starts with however old the chip is. And if you're down in the ones, it's a very old computer. So all you have to do is go to the Intel website, and the feature that you're looking for that tells you if your chip has the Intel vPro on it, is look for vPro. If it has vPro, it has AMT. Can you physically remove the vPro from the board? No. No. iPhones have no AMT. This is Intel specific. No, our topic tonight is specific about computers. Intel computers. This does no impact on phones, no impact on your Android, no impact on any of that. It does have an impact on your Mac and your PC because Macs use Intel, and so does your Windows computer. So if you're using Celeron, if you have a cheap AMD, you're safe. They did not put vPro on Celerons, and they did not put vPro on and AMD has no vPro because this is specific to Intel. So we're talking about Intel specifically. That's what the title is in the broadcast. So if you have some sort of Intel computer, then you may be vulnerable to vPro. Where do Intel site do we check the? Just Google. Put your chip number on there, and then on Intel they have the feature of the chip, and it lists all the features on it. It has so much bus and so much memory and all this, and then you get to the bottom. It says Intel vPro. So there's an actual box in there that says vPro on it. Okay, so let me just tell you. It doesn't matter what you're using. Understand that what I'm talking about is a chip with a chip. There's two CPUs. Every Intel computer shipped since 2007 have two CPUs on there. The main CPU and a tiny one that is AMT. And the tiny AMT one can control the big CPU. They share the same bus. They share the same I/O, meaning disk drives, and share the same network. And it can turn on the power and do all that. One of the things that the Intel vPro does is it actually has control over the zucking power switch. Can you imagine that a computer has control over the power switch from an external source? Where on what did I miss here? Okay, so big chip, little chip. Now, many people have tried to say, well, can we disable the vPro in some way? Can we disable the vPro in some ways? What does DRM protections have to do with this? Nothing. Can we protect can we block vPro in some way? And the problem, guys, is that there is no zucking documentation on AMT at all that can be accessed by normal people. Only corporate users have access to AMT, and it's a black box. It's a black box. So the question is, let's say you're the National Zucking Agency or the Zucking IA, and you talk to Intel, and Intel says, well, yeah, you can access that computer. We'll give you the software for it that can log into that computer and control it completely. So, hello, Adam. What I'm telling you is anyone with Intel software can control the zucking computer with AMT on it. It's pretty crazy. So if any government agency deals with Intel and says, "Can you give us that software?" And Intel says, "Yeah, you pay us X million and we'll give you the software." And they get the software, and it's a black box, like I said, and they can access any Intel zucking computer. Now, hackers have actually tried to penetrate advanced management technology or Intel management engine, and they've succeeded. There's been several hacks on it already. And so some people, because we know the chip, this part of the chip exists, and we know what it's for, and we know what the Intel documentation says. So some people have hacked the AMT. If your desktop automatically turns on occasionally, is vPro likely to blame? That's very interesting, Mark. That's very interesting. If your desktop automatically turns on, I would be quite suspicious. Yes, I would be very suspicious. I'd think about on Windows. There's a way to switch off AMT. Now, watch my video. There's a video on how to set up your new PC on YouTube, and there's a link on there to that you can run. It's a script that actually turns off AMT in BIOS. Now, exactly how does this work? It's a switch in BIOS, so it's a program. And could someone unswitch it? My guess is yes. My guess is this is not a foolproof solution, but at least it's better than nothing. So basically, this little switch will turn off the AMT in BIOS. So by default, AMT is not active. It only works on Windows. There's no code that I'm aware of that we can use for a Mac. So we're kind of like zucked on a Mac. Okay? And I have one of those computers with this problem. But if the internet is unplugged and the Wi-Fi is disabled, they cannot have access to the PC. How do you disable the Wi-Fi? What makes you think they can't enable the Wi-Fi? Obviously, they won't even have access to it if they didn't have network access. So the first access is through the network. So if you're saying, well, I unplug the Ethernet cable at night and I make sure to disable the Wi-Fi every time I use it. Well, is that really practical? Do you actually do that? That's not realistic. Okay, so that you're now theorizing something that's not normal behavior. Okay, so the normal behavior of a typical user of a computer is to leave it on and to turn it off when you're done. You don't go unplug things. The Wi-Fi is whatever the Wi-Fi is, and then you leave it, and then it's unplugged and it's turned off, or the power goes off and it goes on standby. None of those will stop AMT because it's a separate chip. As long as everything is powered, is plugged in, and they can access it by. This is how it works. Just to give you an idea, this is how it works. They signal the second processor, the AMT processor. They signal the AMT processor, which then turns on the Wi-Fi or the network. Once a network turns, I don't even know how they do this. That means the network is never asleep, which has some implications relating to Wi-Fi triangulation that I'm worried about. So they're saying that they don't actually put the Wi-Fi completely asleep or the network. And that alone is worrisome. So they managed to wake up the computer through the network. And instead of the network going to the main chip, the network wakes up the AMT chip. The AMT chip then wakes up and says, okay, we're on the network, and we have power because it's plugged in. And now, what can I do? Let me go to the C drive and see what's on there. And I'm on the network. I can transfer files back and forth and send images and do what I can do to do tech support, which was the original intent, to tech support the computer on AMT. Okay, now what does that have to do with me? I'm on a home computer. No one, absolutely no one on the outside needs to have access to my computer. How does Zakti turn this off? Intel did not make a way for you to turn this zucking thing off. There's no methodology to turn off AMT. So a company called Purism, which makes Librem 5, and another company called System 76. They're aware of what I'm aware of, and they've been saying, well, what do we do to disable AMT? So they actually figured out some hardware ways to block the chip, the second chip. I don't even know if they actually went in there and I think they ordered specific chips from Intel, making sure that that feature's turned off, or they did something to the chip. I am not actually certain what they did. But they're dealing with the same exact problem that I'm having, which is, what the Zuck? Why, since 2007, we've been buying these computers with a Zucking backdoor, and none of us complain about it. And part of it is I'm really concerned about the average person using these computers, and you basically allowed a third party to go check up on your computer directly. Somebody can log into your computer and control it directly, and no one complains. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, this is like, we worry about cybersecurity and all this, but we don't really care that someone has access to your computer to do anything to it, to see what you're putting on your Zucking drives, to see what kind of stuff you're storing on your file storage, to see what's on your drive, to see what documents you're writing, what websites you visit, whatever you're doing, and they can access it through this backdoor. We don't even know who has access to this backdoor. What's your question, Eagle? We don't have any idea who got access to this other than hackers who've been hacking AMT independently. So if you are a corporate account, you would have AMT software. And who else gets this AMT software? I looked up my system 400. It says Intel vPro. If it has anything that refers to AMT vPro Eagle Source, it has vPro. It has AMT. It's a very simple thing. There's a vPro logo on the chip. If you see the vPro logo, it has AMT. Simple. You see the vPro logo, it has AMT. So if you have an Intel computer, it's a little older, you can go to my video, how to set up a new PC, and there's a link on there to run this little exe that will wipe out vPro on BIOS. I am not saying, and there's no guarantee that this will actually work, but the original program, if I gather right, is from Intel itself. And this software is not available anymore. It was available some years back, and I happen to have it on my on Brax.me, and I still have it. And the websites that used to have it don't no longer have it. So I still have the original code. There's a download link on there that connects directly to Brax.me, and then you can download this vPro inactivator program, and it will turn off the Intel management engine. So I guess I don't want to confuse you because of the terminology. So the general family of features is called vPro, but the specific features are called by two names, and I call it AMT because that's what it says on the chip. AMT, Advanced Management Technology. And many sites that refer to this from a security point of view, many security sites refer to it as Intel Management Engine. But I've been talking about it for years. I've for the past many years I called it AMT, and some of these sites I've now called it the Intel Management Engine. So either way, it's the same thing. So the Intel Management Engine is what you need to be concerned about. Now, I made sure that my new computer does not have vPro. The question is it really not here or just deactivated by default? Does this Intel computer, does this have a inactive version of vPro on it that they can turn on? This is an i7. I actually don't know. If you fix a BIOS update, I don't think I have any Intel machines newer than '07, but I know several people who do. You don't have your Intel machines are older than '07? Oh my gosh. Are you serious, Doug? Your machines are 12 plus years old? Doug. I mean, do they run? That's kind of slow by now. Probably can't run videos on it. Probably, can't run like, Adobe Premiere Pro to edit videos. Not going to work. If you fix a BIOS update, it switches the flag in the BIOS, and it's in that video. Setting up your new PC. It's on the description. So go to my video, how to set up a new PC. Go to the description. There's a link to this little program that will disable AMT if your computer has AMT on it. And I don't guarantee that it will fix it, because if you switch it off, could somebody switch it back on? And that I don't know. We don't really know. You have to assume that they may be able to do it. They've just archived, not in use. Yes, so I have it. I still have it. So Intel itself does not distribute this exe anymore, but I still have it. And I've run it on even on my computer here. On my new computer, when I run it, it doesn't really do anything. It I guess because I have no AMT. So it doesn't do anything. So maybe it detects that you have AMT on it before it does something. I'm not sure. So the bigger question is, why the zuck did they do this? And it just goes to the point to point out the issue that I've been dealing with, and that is the issue of cybersecurity versus privacy. I've been talking about the fact that when you go to a corporation, the corporation says, we are interested in cybersecurity, and they make you feel good. And I'm going to talk about phones, and they actually said, and this is a factual comment. Some people have said that the Android phone is the most secure phone ever made. According to these people, the Android phone is the most secure phone ever made. And secure for who? You see how the nonsense, you as an average user, you have no idea. Secure for who? So cyber secure means it's been hardened from attack. Okay, so let me just translate this into English for you. It means that a third-party hacker could not hack an Android successfully unless it's been rooted. So if you're going to attack the generic Android, you're not going to be able to hack it because they integrated something called SE Linux on it. And if you don't know what SE Linux is, according to Google, they've integrated SE Linux, and SE Linux is a module for controlling rights and security on a Linux machine, and it was made by the National Zucking Agency. So the National Zucking Agency built a module to harden a Linux device, and Android is originally a fork of Linux. So Android is just some sort of Linux. Okay? Early on, in the original version of Android was from Linux, and then they modified it. Now Android is by itself, which is open source. But Linux itself has been hardened. So now you're saying, "Oh, I guess I gotta buy a Android now because I just heard from Rob here that they said that Android is the most secure phone or most secure device because it has all these cybersecurity stuff on it." Zuck that. What I'm trying to tell you is that Google feels like they got hardened from an attack from third parties, but it didn't harden you from ducking Google. So Google can attack you and ignore your privacy in any kind of way, and they're going to say that's not part of the security. We can track your location, track what you do, track your movements, track where your car is, track what restaurants you go to, look at your photos and look at all that. And because we're Google, we are okay. We're not counted on these companies that are, or these entities that are hacking your computer. So it's safe from other people if you have the generic Android, but you are not safe from a privacy point of view from Facebook, from Google, and anyone they authorize to use all of the different instruction set that is open to all to use inside the platform. There you go, TWX Steve. Let me see, what did Buster Brown say here? Check our BitChute. It's a political free speech video hosting website. You are more like to reach more people on there as censorship continues. Buster Brown, are you affiliated with the BitChute? Are you part of BitChute? I mean, I appreciate your invitation. I suppose I can just upload it if I don't have to do anything, but I suppose I could do that. But are you affiliated with BitChute? It's just, one more. I'm trying to reach more people, and the problem is some platforms are fine in theory, but they don't. I don't actually reach anyone because there's no discovery. Hello, Jeff. I am a user, but not affiliated. Yeah, the problem is I go to these platforms, and I'll give you an example. I sign up with, I have a Gab account. So I go to Gab and, nothing. No action. So, Gab is like, everyone there is like, preaching to the choir. So until somebody says, well, I don't need to talk to myself, so let me just leave. So, you see what I'm talking about? So I'm not getting... I don't get any measurable response from some of these platforms. So for that reason, and I'm already broadcasting on Twitch. All my videos are on Twitch. All my videos, not videos, but live streams are on Twitch. All of my live streams are on Periscope. All of my live streams are on YouTube. 3 platforms, and nobody watches me on Twitch. And certainly Periscope even is going down. So most of it is just from YouTube. So I can't, I just go where the people are. That's kind of true. Actually, BitChute viewers are more likely to be interested in these topics. Yeah, I mean, people have been suggesting that I use BitChute, but I'm not sure I'm going to reach any new people that way. So so far, my topics are not the kind of topics that YouTube is blocking or censoring. So I'm not in their targeted list of topics to censor. Even though I may talk against Google, they're not really mystery school. Yes, unfortunately, yes. You're talking about Periscope. Yeah. So even on Periscope, the number of viewers I'm getting is actually not growing. It's pretty much the same. I mean, Periscope did kind of a purge, and they like knocked off, some like 1,000 followers from my account, and then I haven't recovered. It's still I'm still like around 30,000 followers. It hasn't grown. It goes up and down, but yeah, Periscope is losing it, and I'm not visible to Periscope new users because I'm not on the global list. So, because I don't do the call-in, so it's kind of pointless. But my YouTube site is growing very, very well. It's like incredible. So the YouTube algorithm is actually favoring me right now, and my growth rate is very, very positive for the channel on my side. I have the growth rate of channels that are have 10,000 subs or more. So my growth rate is very, very fast. So I must have grown, I don't know, in the last 2 months. I must have gained. I was only like at 1,600 subscribers like a month ago, and I'm at 2137 today, and I'm going to be at 2,500 in October. It's growing really fast. So it's 2139 right now. So it kind of like makes me think that I'm gonna thank you, Twitty. I'm gonna stay with what works. So wherever I can reach people, I'm gonna have to focus on that because Periscope is not increasing. Well, it increased as I have exciting topics and they do come, but then it goes down again. So in any case, I'm expecting that in about a month or about October that I'll be at 2,500. That's the current pace. So at that pace, then even if I don't change anything, then I'll be at 3,500 by December. Or if things change, then it might be more than that. So it's growing very, very fast now. So and I'm really appreciating it. So it's working. So I'm not gonna go change the story. Or I don't have to make that many videos. It's just to make sure that the kind of videos I'm doing are things that are important to you, and that seems to work. So thank you, all of you, because it doesn't happen because I'm just sitting here and patting myself in the back and saying, "Hey, good job." No, thank you. Periscope feeds Twitter, and Twitter feeds YouTube. All Braxters are working to help you. Thank you, and lighten up. It's just that I'm getting new viewers that have nothing to do with Periscope or Twitter, and it's coming primarily from YouTube recommending me. I'll boost you on Mastodon. I don't know what Mastodon is. Yes, Twitty, thank you. Yeah, it's just that Periscope and Twitter isn't really boosting anything, and I don't. Maybe it's my fault. I don't really know what the reason is, but I don't know what the reason is. But I'm just have to work on what I have to work with. So it's working very well on YouTube, so I'm gonna keep doing that. So not to ignore all of you, because I am broadcasting live on Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube right now. So but YouTube people, if you want to watch my videos, the videos are only on YouTube. They're not on Periscope. Your jazz group. Thank you, Daryl. You can, of course, I tweet too and lighten up. It's just that I'm like looking for some sign that is working. So, thank you, Jeff. Jeff HN Jeff the Anchovy. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Eagle Source. Thank you, Eagle Source. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, no, we need to advertise on all platforms. I'm just telling you what the results are. Don't put me on your pizza. So, so I can only speak to what's actually happening, and unfortunately, most of my followers on Twitter are from Periscope, and a lot of them don't even check their Twitter account. So maybe it's a kind of mix of people that I have, being from Periscope, and most of the Periscope people are not on Periscope anymore. How often do you all practice in your group? We never practice, Daryl. Practicing is not a jazz way. We play live, and we just do things live. We do not practice. Thank you, Enlighten Up. Thank you. I'm glad we have these little successes on tweeting, because I have not gotten the same success. Pretty much, I tweet something and I don't necessarily get any reaction to it. So that's okay. I mean, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not changing anything. I'm just telling you what the platforms are doing. And again, the reason is because most of the people on Twitter, for me, are from Periscope, and a lot of those people do not even check their Periscope accounts. I was lucky enough in the early 70s to see Miles Davis in concert, and I never got that chance. I actually, I've been to New York so many times when Bill Evans was around, when Bill Evans was alive, and I didn't do jazz back in the 80s. So because of that, I never really got the chance to appreciate Bill Evans until he died. Because I only started jazz, in the 2000-something. 2007 or 2008. Right when Facebook became popular. That's when I started jazz. Soul King. Oh my gosh. Soul King is zucking alive. Oh my gosh. That's a shock. A few of us OGs have been here the whole time. Yes, thank you, Night Eyes. Yes, and I appreciate it, and I really do. I'm just yes, Soul King is alive. We haven't seen Soul King on Brax Me. Soul King is like disappeared because Soul King does not like Periscope. Well, glad to see you on YouTube, Soul King, buddy. How are you doing, my friend? To me, so anyway, I don't want to switch from the topic in question here, which is Intel AMT. So, how does this affect you as a person buying a computer? What I'm going to suggest you do is when you buy a computer, before you make a purchase, you go to the Intel website and say, okay, I'm going to look at this computer. It's a Dell XPS and looks at this chip. Then you take the chip of the Dell XPS of the whatever i5, i7, or i9 that you're looking at, and then you plug it into the Intel website and you see if it has vPro on it. If it has vPro on it, you say, I decline to buy this computer. Either that or you get an AMD. Get the fastest AMD you can get instead of a zucking Intel computer with this vPro on it. So if you have a Intel, if you have an AMD, then you're not going to be subject to this. You're not going to it doesn't even concern you. vPro is not a feature on anything that's not Intel. So it's not a feature on ARM chips. Certainly not a feature on, iPhones. Certainly not a concern on Raspberry Pis, Androids, and so on. They're specifically a problem on Intel laptops and desktops. And chances are, if you have a desktop, it has AMT. To this day, desktops are likely to have AMT. If you're using a server in the cloud from cloud providers like AWS or Amazon or Google, chances are those servers have AMT. Is AMD equal to Dell? That doesn't make any sense. AMD is just a chip. It's Intel chip. So the question is AMD good or equal to Intel? And you can see various. Intel is faster typically, but not sure it's. If somebody offers a computer that's a high-speed AMD, chances are it will do just as well because typically AMD is slightly cheaper than Intel. So Intel's a bit more of a premium, but unfortunately the premium is buying you spying. Thank you, Daryl. Unfortunately, Mr. Robot is no longer. I guess Mr. Robot is starting up again. They've been gone for a couple of years, but I guess they have the final season coming up. So there is a final season to Mr. Robot. I hope it's good. Search for Rob Braxman on Patreon and become a patron. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Soul King. Last IBM I had was a Dell in 1999 before the Millennium Bug. I've had, just to give you my, enlighten up, to give you my PC choices. Back in the old days, my favorite computer back in the 90s. In the 90s, I was mostly on Toshiba. Toshiba was a very good computer maker in the 90s. Then later on, I had a lot of Dells. I was on Dell heavily because I had a corporate computer, and I was on Dell heavily from most of the 2000s. So I started off with Toshiba, which was the high-end computer laptop of the day, and then I went with Dell, and it's been Dell for a long time. And then the last few years, I've had the same model, and I'm going to tell you, I've stuck to the same model. And I actually research these computers a lot, and there's reason I choose it. But this is a XP X360 Spectre, and this is my third one. And you would think that's pretty unusual to have. I don't know how many Dell XPSs I've had, but to have three of these Spectre X360s, that should speak for how well it's been performing. I have an Apple computer, never had any trouble with it. What do you think of those? So yes, I have a MacBook Pro, and my MacBook Pro has AMT on it. So yeah, so the MacBook Pro is zucked, and there's nothing I can do. I don't have there's nothing, no setting for it, no BIOS, no way to configure to turn it off. Remember, the AMT doesn't care what the operating system is. The AMT is built into the chip. So in theory, it can turn on the computer and do whatever you want, even if it's a Mac. So it really, really bugs me. So I don't use that computer anymore for anything production. I use it for minor things, mostly for doing apps on iPhones, because I need to have it. But I'm not. I don't have any newer, aside from the MacBook Pro. I don't have any newer MacBook. I don't like the new MacBooks. So just to parlay this into computer choices, since we're talking about computers, some of you are saying, what computer should you get? And personally, I don't care what the computer is. So I am not a fanboy of Apple or Windows or anything. I'll switch platform. I'll go to Linux tomorrow. I'll go to Windows. It doesn't matter to me because they all work the same for me. So there are some conveniences and there are some differences in the way they operate, but you can learn them. And for the most part, I don't really care what I use. I can switch, pretty much overnight between Windows and a Mac. And my problem is, for those of you thinking about a new Mac, I've looked at the new Macs and they kind of suck. First of all, they're expensive. The chips are slower, so it's a slower computer. The build is no better than my XP for a higher price. And they have that stupid touch bar on the top that really serves no zucking purpose. I don't know about you, but why would I use a zucking touch bar when I got to go look and see what I'm pressing? Plus, they have that problem with the keyboard itself. The keyboard on the Mac has been really problematic, and the keyboard on the Mac has been cause for people asking for a recall. So because of that, Apple has really done a bad job with their laptops in the last few years. So my MacBook Pro was fine. Didn't really have anything to, aside from the fact it was heavy, I didn't really have any complaints about a MacBook Pro. It was running just fine until it got old. So my MacBook Pro is 2014, I think. So I haven't really gotten a new one from my 2014 MacBook Pro. And I have a lot of MacBook Airs. I have, some already broke, but as far as MacBook Airs, I think I have two. And then there's some new, the MacBook Air 13s, and then I have and there's a couple of MacBook 11s in here. So in general, I think that the last few years the MacBooks have not been worth it. So just extra price. Your last MVP is 2011. So yeah, so I have a MacBook Airs from 2011. No, 2012. So I have MacBook Airs from 2012. And one broke, so I have one still running. And then I actually bought a used one, and then that broke. The best MacBook Pros are 2013 and 2014, only 400, 600 used. You want to buy mine? So I still have a MacBook Pro 2013 and 2014. What's the one they sell with an alien on? It's supposed to be big with gamers. Yes. The that's actually heavy. The one with the alien on it. I forget the brand. Somebody help me with that. Yeah. So the one with Alienware. So yeah, I looked at that, and let me just tell you some of the issues with that one. The Alienware is kind of nice because here's what they did, and this is actually a Alienware is owned by Dell. Yes, this is what they did with the Alienware. They put a SSD drive that's not that big, like 256 SSD, and then they put a terabyte magnetic drive next to it, which is actually not a bad deal. It actually works pretty well. So that makes it boot fast because you got the SSD to boot fast. Then you got all the storage on the magnetic drive at 1 terabyte. That works very well, except that these devices are very, very heavy and they're made of plastic. They are plastic. So after being spoiled by a MacBook Pro, I want my computer to be kind of like a MacBook Pro. So this is why this is the kind of computer I got. So this is as solid as a MacBook Pro and a lot lighter. The HP is much lighter than a MacBook Pro. It's solid metal. Whatever metal this is made of, aluminum or whatever it is, it's solid. And it's very stiff. And the screens are perfect and so on. And so the display is nice. My only complaint about this Spectre X360 is that the keys themselves, if you get this gray one that I have, I have a gray one, and the keys are kind of shiny, and in the dark, the light doesn't show, and you don't really know what you're pressing. So that is the biggest problem with this. And some people are actually complaining about the fact that the touchpad on a HP Spectre doesn't go all the way to the edge. It's not a problem with me with the way I use it, but some people are trying to use the touchpad from edge to edge, and they're finding out that the touchpad is not the best because it doesn't have a signal at the very, very edge of it, which is true. It does not. You can't move the mouse if you're right at the edge of the... I can touch the edge of it and it doesn't do anything. But I don't know. I guess I've just been sticking to the center of it, and it doesn't bother me. So it's I'm really happy with this, and they have an i9 version of this coming out now. So the biggest problem in computer tests, they found that the Dell XPS is a little bit faster than the HP Spectre. Not that I like the design of the XPS as much. I mean, it's it's kind of almost the same. It's backlit keypad, yes. Yeah, it has everything that a Mac does. It's backlit keypad, yes. But the fact that it's backlit doesn't help when it's too shiny. So if the light is on, the keypad with the backlit stuff, you still can't see it. Do you buy laptops or desktops or both? Eagle Source, I have not bought a desktop. I've never bought a desktop. I've always built my desktop, but I haven't built a desktop in, I don't know, since the 90s. That's probably the last time I bought a desktop was in the 90s. No, I have not. No, all of my computers are I don't have any desktops. So I've not bought a desktop since the 90s. So all of my computers are laptops. And I'm a particularly picky one. I want it thin and light. If I cannot carry a computer with my one hand like this, okay, if I can't carry it with one hand like this, then I'm not going to buy it. So it's got to be, under 3 pounds. If it's not under 3 pounds, I am not going to get it. That's why the Alienware, as nice as that sounds, A, it's made of plastic, and B, it's really heavy. Alienware, like 8 pounds. It's like 8 pounds? Zuck, no. So I'm not buying any 8-pound computer. So is it good? Well, the CPU of the Alienware isn't that hot. The display isn't... Well, it has a faster video card, but the display isn't any nicer. I like having 2 screens on one computer. By the way, this is a 2-in-1, so this is a tablet. So you can flip it and make a tablet out of it. Is that important? To me, no. I have never used a tablet. So to me, it's a laptop. I've never turned into a tablet. So I don't have space for monitors. I have too many computers. The way I work, I basically have a stack of computers, and depending on what I'm doing, I pull out the particular computer I'm working on. So if I'm going to use a Mac, I pull it out, work on it. If I need to, sometimes I'm switching computers multiple times, and they're stacked up. 5G is a weapon. That's in my video, but nobody's watching anymore. My video on 5G Detroit, OG. Why don't you watch that on YouTube? I have a Dell i5 right now with 2 large screens. Well, why? Why? It's like a desktop shoved into a laptop. Yeah, so I don't need a big screen because I don't have space for that. I'm flipping laptops all day. So, sometimes I have to flip to the Mac, flip to the, I have 2 Windows computers I use a lot. laptop, I mean the Mac. The rest I don't use too often. My deal was not to go online. It has XP. XP might actually be good. A stack. I had a stack of records. Well, I have a stack of laptops. If I kept every laptop, I'd have a big stack of it. I buy a laptop every year. So sometimes two a year. So just from the last 5 years, I've have more than five. So just from the, yeah, I, I have to. It's what I do. I need the laptops, but right now I have Raspberry Pis. So like this is a Raspberry. This is my uh, alarm. This is the alarm prototype, and this one's like an Amazon Echo. It has a speaker on it, so there's a speaker, and we're building the case for this. But this is the
Alarm sequence initiated now.
okay. So that'll turn on the alarm, and that's ready. We're preparing it for production. This is gonna go first before the camera.
Alarm is active now.
So if I move, that alarm's gonna go. So we'll see.
Alarm. Police alert.
It worked. So this is going to be available soon. So I'm gonna actually start making production models of this, so that it's ready to ship by December, by October, and then we're making the camera version of that. I had a laser to zap the burglar. So there's going to be a couple of models of this. The first model will be just as you see here, and then a base station model that actually can have you can train to listen to other sensors that you have. You can have a door sensor and other sensors you want. You can add to the other one that's the base station. So you can talk to it like you can't talk to it, it talks to you. So it's one way. It's not going to listen to you. So you will not be able to talk to it. If you talk to it, it doesn't care. It won't respond to you. It's not. It has no microphone. I don't like to build a
Alarm
device.
sequence initiated now.
I don't like to build a device, Soul King, that has any kind of microphone. This one has no microphone. No microphone.
Alarm is active now.
Okay, so now the alarm is active. So if it senses any big enough movement here, it's radar. It's based on radar. So, like if I move like that, then it will fire.
Alarm. Police alert.
So there's a circuitry on the inside, and that thing has radar on it. Yes, you can swear and it won't mind. Yes, it won't doesn't care. This one has a speaker. You can see the speaker on the side there. It's basically like a echo, and so you can hear without an amp. But if you want the bad guy to hear you loudly, you can plug it into an amp, so they can hear loudly that the alarm has been activated. But if it's just for your purposes, the voice will tell you what it's doing, and this is going to be, it has a speaker on it with an amplifier, and this is hopefully will be available in October. So we're going into production now, and then we have a camera module, and the camera one is very sophisticated. It has here showing you the screen. It has high def video, and it basically can sense motion and takes a video of every motion that occurs. And the red one you see is the alarm, is from this, and the video is from what is detected on the outdoor video. So this is part of the security products that I'm building that are going to be part of the Brax Secure Net family. So the brand will be Secure Net. So the domain name is braxsecure.net, but I'm going to call it Secure Net. So Secure Net will be the name of the family of products, and these will be the first two that will be available. And there will be a third one that's a base station, and they're basically cyber secure, because they're secure alarm systems that are not tied to Google, Apple, or Amazon, meaning they can't spy on you. These have no connection. These cannot be accessed to the internet. These are the URL is not active, but I bought the domain. I lost the other domain, braxsecure.com, which I used to own, but somebody took it. So these devices cannot be accessed outside of your house. So although it shows up on your phone, it sends the data to your phone, but it cannot be controlled outside of your house. So it's immune from hackers. You can't hack these. So these are unhackable devices. No one's going to spy and turn on your camera and watch you in your house. It's not going to work because it just has no mechanism on it. And you're basically getting a device from a guy who's very aware of cybersecurity, making sure that these cannot be hacked. So wait, like Skynet. How much? I don't know yet. These things, I haven't finalized the price. I'm gonna guess these ones, the ones you see here, maybe 129, maybe. The camera, maybe 249. These are not finalized. Maybe cheaper ones if you buy multiple, because the electronics are kind of expensive. So there's hardly any profit to be made because just making the electronics, because there's a lot of stuff in these. I mean, these have a full Raspberry Pi in it, among other things. So it has a Raspberry Pi amplifier and radar and all the other sensors in there. So they're a lot more sophisticated than those cheapo things you find on the market. So they're much more high-end security. The camera, for example, is very high-end. The camera is actually stores. You buy a video camera, and then you have to put in your own SD card to do the video. Mine includes everything, so it doesn't. The SD card's already built into it, and it can actually store the video. For whatever period of time. All the videos are actually stored on the device. Is it only Tor router? No, this is not a Tor router. Tor router is a different product. This is a security device. This is a radar alarm. In fact, one of these is enough to protect a large area of your house. So if you put this near your the entry of your house, if you have one zone, then you can have one of these. You got to work on it's kelp. The case is kind of crappy, but that's what it is right now. We haven't stopped complaining, or don't buy it. But it works. So this is not the final case. It's just it's a prototype, so we can measure the holes. How do you fit that the size of a nickel? Go look at it. Can't be smaller than what's inside there. Okay, so there. I'm going to show you the interior. So how do you get it smaller than that? Hello, Michael. So you can't get any smaller than what it is. I mean, it's there's a lot of parts in there. I mean, just the time it takes to assemble this and solder it, it's actually, minimum wage isn't even going to pay for the time it takes to make one. But anyway, it's really functional. I mean, I made this mostly for myself, and like I said, you could put it in your house. One of these is enough to say, just turn on the button.
Alarm sequence initiated now.
It blocks dongles. Where are you going to put the dongle? So,
Alarm is active now.
okay, so there, it's active right now, and the radar is on. So the radar is 306.
Alarm.
See, I'll move my head. Can you specify the size of the radar sector? No, it basically hits an area of 4 meters, 360 degrees. So wherever this is, it hits approximately in open air 12 feet on every direction. So if you put this in the center, you're getting a coverage of 24 feet around, okay, on one of these. So this one has 24-foot coverage. What radars is it blocking? So anyway, the inside of this, there's it emits radar, and if it sees any disturbance in radar with anything that affects the radar signature, such as anything metal that's moving, or a human body which has water, anything watery moving or anything metal moving, then the alarm will go off. Okay, so you cannot specify the sector of this. The coverage is 360 degrees all around, and some lesser value up and down. So some people have asked, what about dogs? And if you see how this is set up, if you set out anything metal on the bottom, then actually will not reach a certain height below. So if your dogs are down here and you set it on something metal like foil, it doesn't care about movement outside with leaves. First of all, it's indoors. My other camera system, this camera system here, is based on actual infrared movement. So this one does not care about trees and leaves moving. It doesn't get triggered by that. It has to be triggered by infrared, so something warm. So a car moving by will trigger it, and so will people. But it will not be triggered by leaves. So could I have multiple sensors spread out through a large space? That's the plan. So the idea is one of these will cover a 12 by 12 zone. And all you have to do is, it's really simple. And you can actually set it to auto restart. You just press the button. Okay, so the way this works, you press the button.
Alarm sequence initiated now.
And then you can actually program it to just loop, so that when the alarm triggers, then the loop will auto reset after the last alarm. So you actually don't need to reset it.
Alarm is active now.
Okay, so now the alarm is active, right? So if I make any sudden moves, it will detect that because I'm next to the radar. Okay, so now if you have multiple of these, then this is not set to auto restart. But let's say I move like that, right? And
Alarm. Police alert.
and it fires, and this one's radar. The indoor one's a radar. The outside one is infrared. The outside one is infrared. Could it have multiple sensors spread out through a large space? So there's another version of this that will be available, and that one actually can be triggered by other sensors by radio. So I'm gonna make that a separate product because there's more circuitry, but that's already working as well. So I have that, so you can put separate door sensors if you need that, and then that's a little bit more because it has some extra chips on there to detect the radio and learn. It has a learning mode that can learn that you have another sensor. So that is actually already figured out. But just from a timing reason, I'm going to release this one first. So this one is the base model. So I don't know. The only thing that we're too late for love. The only thing I'm working on is the everything is finalized now except for the case. So we're ready to go to production. I'm actually going to start building the PCBs, the inside. We're going to start building those while we're finalizing the case. So the case is not final yet. So case is 3D printed. So as time goes by, we'll keep changing the case and come up with fancier designs for the case. But at least functionally, it doesn't change. It will be just as functional with or without a different case. So I don't know if this is of any interest, but this will be available during the holidays starting in October, and hopefully you guys will be interested in this product. I guess I'm guessing a price range of maybe $129 for. I was hoping to shoot for $99 on these, but I don't know how I can make money with that because the parts alone. Yeah, I can't make money on $99. So maybe if you buy two, maybe the second one is $99. I don't know. I gotta think. Maybe the first one is $129. The second one is $99. Are you gonna send payment? No, don't do it yet. Enlighten. No, I'm not ready. But we're gonna build because we have to build a lot of these. I'm gonna shoot to build my next 10, the first 10, shortly. So we're gonna build the first. It takes a while to build them. I mean, it takes a lot of time to solder all that. I mean, look at the chips. I mean, there's a lot of circuitry in there. Leaving my door vulnerable to a glitch. I will stick with a manual lock. Of course, you're kelp. Kelp will always not care. So why would kelp care? So is this of any interest? Should I make more than 2 of these? So how many of these should I make? If you show some interest in it, maybe I'll stock up on more. But at some point, then I'll put it on Amazon Prime when I have the volume. But I'm gonna have to manufacture the case in mass production because it's kind of hard to manufacture right now because it's the biggest problem with these. Thank you, Intaramar. The biggest problem with these is actually you can build any kind of device, but if the software isn't working right, this comes with the app. You can run it. You can view your stuff remotely on app on Brax.me. So it's cool. Interested. Okay. So I just want to make sure what is this thing? I showed up late. So too late for love, Rob. This is an alarm system that I made, and it's based on radar. It's a radar alarm system. Okay. So basically, because you're not on a plant, I'm going to tell you some of the problems with some of the competitors out there. So alarm systems are very common. You got Google IoT devices in general have exploded, and you got Google Nest, Ring, Wise, what's the one that starts with B? Blink, whatever. So there's a few of these products that are out there, and they all have the same problem, and that is you're opening yourself up There's no monthly subscription. That's the whole thing. So let's just talk about an example. Blink. Let's talk about one example. One example is Simply Safe. So Eagle Sword says, my wife wants Simply Safe. Well, Simply Safe is designed so that you use their subscription, which is $14.99. Okay, if you use subscription, this is what happens. You're paying them $14.99 or $15 a month for the subscription forever and ever for them to monitor this thing. Okay? So it doesn't matter what you pay for this, they're making the money off the $14.99 a month. So what that happens is when the alarm fires, you have to have a fob switch, kind of like your car, to turn off the alarm. Otherwise, it will Simply Safe, and then call the police. Well, I'm going to tell you that I have many decades of experience paying ADT, Spectrum, and all of these other security companies, and I find that these monthly things are fairly useless. Let me just explain. For those of you who have never done this, I'm going to explain exactly what happens. When you go buy a security system, what happens is the moment your alarm fires, then ADT, as an example, or Spectrum, will call you on your phone and say, what's your password? And if you remember your password, you will say it. And most of the time, I can't remember the password because it doesn't fire that often. They say, what's your password? Oh, we're going to call the police. And I'm like saying to myself, well, the time it took you to call me for you to call the police, I could have just called the police myself. So what exactly is the point of me paying you, in the case of ADT, $40 a month? Why am I paying you $40 a month? Why should I need to pay Ring $14.99 or $15 a month? It doesn't serve any purpose for me. I just need to be alerted, and I can make the call myself. I don't need to tell you about all the other problems with ADT and all that. So that aside, I find that I just wasted my money with all these subscription plans. So this is not a subscription plan. This is a device you buy once, and it's on there forever for you with no subscription. All you have to do is press the button like that before you leave the house, and then you leave your house, and then it will alert your phone on the Brax app if there's an alarm, and that's all you have to worry about.
Alarm is active now.
Okay, now, hopefully you walked out of the house before that started, like I did, so that if somebody walks in the door, the alarm fires.
Alarm. Police alert.
Okay, now it doesn't actually call the police. I just make it say that. What it does is send a notification on my phone. It can also text you. If you'd rather not get a notification, if you want to get texted, you can text, but you have to pay for the texting. So the texting is a bit more a year. So not much, maybe $10. So if you want to get texted, there'll be an extra fee. If you want to get notifications, free. If you want to get live video from the camera, like here, then you can do this all locally. This does not have to cost you a dime. You can do all the video you want from your local device. It will store all the videos, so you don't need any cloud. If you want to see the videos when you're out of the house, then there will be a subscription, because it will upload every single video to the cloud. So it will be up to you. If you want to say, I'm going to upload every video to the cloud because I want to see it because I'm out of town. If you want to do that, go do the subscription, and you can watch all the videos you want, of anything that the UPS guy, FedEx guy, or whoever, the mailman, anyone who walks into your house, you will see their video, and that will work just fine. If you want to see it on your phone, that will be a subscription. Otherwise, you don't need it. You do not need a subscription to use it. You can just buy the camera, buy this, and the notifications are always free. Only the videos cost money, because it will store gigabytes a day. A day. So that's a lot of traffic. So that costs money. So gigabytes a day, you can imagine the cost of gigabytes of data being transported on the internet just because you pay for your monthly cell phone with gigabytes. So if you don't want that, free. This does not tie you to anything. You can get those devices for free. This is a great device. I may have to buy this when you will be ready. Yeah, so it'll be ready in October. I'm gonna try to build the first dozen or so before October. I don't know. It's kind of hard to build. So we're trying to build the first dozen of these, and then some of the cameras. So the camera, I don't. It's outside. I don't have a sample here right now, but the video is here, and the camera is high resolution video with a wide angle. Intel's elephant in the room. Let me guess. What did you miss there, old man? We're talking about AMT, Advanced Intel Management Engine. No, that's in the beginning. I really excited. No subscription, Rob. So basically, this little device here is all you need. So, well, the case isn't finalized, but we're gonna give you a little box like this. You put it inside your house, press the button, and leave the house. That's it. And if somebody comes into your house, they will get zucked. And that's all you need. So I was trying to make this for $99, and I could not, because I kept adding stuff to it. So I cannot make this for $99. So I'm shooting for $129. So and then the camera will be probably, or can you overwrite old videos when storage is full? It's all automatic, Eagle Storage. You don't have to worry about that. It will overwrite it based on I haven't decided what the overwrite period is. I think I defaulted to 7 days. So it's defaulted to 7 days right now. I will install. Too late for love. What is there to install? Plug it in. This is just a speaker. If I took this out, all you need is plug it. That's just a speaker if you want to hear it loudly. It has a built-in speaker. And plug in the power. And, well, you do have to take the chip and put the Wi-Fi parameters on there. That's it. You have to put the Wi-Fi information on the chip. So you have to unplug this. Let me turn this off here. Okay, you do have to take the chip, the SD card right there, put the Wi-Fi info on there, and that's it. Plug it in and boot it, and you're done. And then you can configure it online. There's a web interface. You can configure it online. Once it's on, then you can configure it from your computer or your phone, whatever. It's just this one will have, there's a website in there. Oh, it's very easy. Very easy. Maybe it's charge us accordingly. Hired Zuckerberg to build your hardware. As long as it's not that, what did he build? That thing that follows you around with a camera? What's the name of that product? That's so stupid. Do you guys remember? It starts with a P. What is that? Need an Ethernet cable to camera location? Yes. The camera is built to be wired or Wi-Fi, but because of the high speed requirements, Portal. Oh, zuck. Portal. The camera is built to have Wi-Fi or wired. So it will work with either one. Although if you don't have good high speed Wi-Fi, I recommend wired. Wired is better. It doesn't have to. TAL doesn't exist. It's like Area 50. What is Kelp up to? Okay, so Special K has some comments. Okay, so anyway, I built this for myself, and if I like it, I know it will work for you because you know me. I have a lot of experience with the security devices. There's a lot of crap out there, so don't just say, "Oh, I want that. That'll work." Are you exposing your? A lot of you buy stuff like baby cameras and baby security systems and all that, and you don't realize that you're actually building spyware for your home, especially with Google Nest and anything to do with Alexa Echo like Ring. So, do you really want that? Do you really want to put Ring on your door so that your pictures are being sent to Amazon together with Alexa Echo? I mean, I can't imagine. I would never do such a thing. It would. So Wi-Fi is needed for this. Wi-Fi or wired, but usually it's Wi-Fi for this. So, well, obviously you have Wi-Fi at home. Don't you have Wi-Fi at home? You can wire it. There is an Ethernet connector if you want to plug into Ethernet. But there's no other fee on this, and then you're all set forever, and this can run pretty much forever and ever. Why does a thermostat need a microphone? Because they want to spy on you. It's not just a microphone. Do you know if your thermostat is being watched on the internet, then somebody knows if you're home or not, just by watching the thermostat move. Okay? It's flush the crap. Yes. So thank you. So anyway, I built this because I understand there's a need for it, and in fact, it's so competitive out there with some of these. And I'm going to tell you my fault right now, so you know this is a very fabulous running device, but I am not able to mass produce a nice case because I'm not a big company. So I have to make the case myself, and then we're doing it in 3D with a 3D printer. At some point, I'll redesign the case, and if I sell enough of these, I'll remanufacture a nice-looking case that looks like Amazon Echo or something. But I can't do that because I'm too small. But the circuitry is not small time. That is some very good electronics in there. FYI. There's some pretty high-end electronics in there. Okay? So you are not going to get a cheapo product. These are, there's some pretty good stuff. It does work. And it's amazing how it works. So then the camera is even more amazing because of the quality of the camera and the video. I have some fairly expensive cameras that I've had before. I bought this other one that I bought for, I don't know, $300. So I bought it on Amazon for $300, and I have it out there. And then on top of that, I had to buy my own memory card for it, and it's outside. It was outside, my outside camera, one of my couple cameras. I have several now because I am experimenting with many different things. But my camera, the video wasn't that good, and I've caught like many burglaries and everything, and the video wasn't that good, and it wasn't really good at motion. And one of the problems with motion, a lot of these cameras, to save money, they don't actually do motion. What they do is they actually just take the picture of the whatever the screen is, and then you specify an area that changes, and they just look for changes in the video. If the video changes, then they presume there's motion. It's not actually based on real motion. This one actually has an infrared sensor. Yes, so yeah, no subscription. So if you do like Simply Safe on one of these products that they keep marketing, they are really marketing the subscription. That's really what they want you to do is, the alarm is set so that, it will cause a problem if you don't respond to it, and therefore you need a subscription. Got facial recognition, no sucking facial recognition. So the nice thing about this is it will cause an alarm, but it just goes to your phone. So then you can make the decision based on what you see on the video or what you see on the camera if you need to call the police or not. You get to decide. Image change triggers a shutter for the photo. No, that's not what it does. it's a video, so it's continuous, but it saves to the file when it detects an image change. It saves to the file, otherwise it doesn't. It's not like a shutter on a camera and lighten up because it's digital. So the camera's always on. So it just says, oh, change, enough of a change, then they do a computation, how much percentage change. I want to get this thing when we're ready. Yes, thank you. So I'm trying to, and I'm hopefully, I can sell enough of these to actually make it worth it, because it's kind of hard to build. So, but I really don't think there's an equivalent to it. I've seen all the other products, and they don't really work like this. This is pretty cool. Then what do you do to catch someone on it? You turn it over to the police. I have turned, the police have come to my house many times to get my videos. This is not the first time. My neighbor has been burglarized 5 times, and it was on my, 4 times, and the 5th time was the car was stolen, and that was all in video. Thinking of the photo version, I don't do photos on the camera right now. I'm doing video, and I'm going to tell you why and lighten up. I tried photo, and although the photo works, I take a stream of photo, like 5 photos in a row. And what I found when you do the photo, and this is from personal experience and lighten up, is that I cannot know the intent of the person from 4 or 5 photos. It's hard when they're just passing by. The reason is, depending on how you can hide from the sensor. Let's say there's a car in there and you hide behind the car. The sensor doesn't detect you. So you can miss the photo because of some delay in sensing that you got out. But if there's a video, I have a better chance of catching motion and catching your intent. So I found that I'd rather go high end and do a good job of actually showing intent on the motion. And the problem with my other camera, actually, the motion didn't work on my camera, so I just kept recording everything. So basically, on my other camera, I recorded 24/7. So the thing was recording 24/7 constantly. Well, guess what? Because it's recording 24/7, I couldn't figure out what the alert is. How many of these you need to buy? Could be 1, maybe 2. Maybe 1 of this on a camera. Maybe 2 of these in the camera. It's up to you. It depends on how big the house is. Okay, so I found that from experience that an outside camera is important because you can watch the perimeter, but I don't want to get an alarm from the outside, and I don't want to get continuous video because then I can't find anything. I don't really know if something's happening from a continuous video. So what happens? 3-floor house. Well, you don't need the sensor for 3 floors. You just need a sensor for where they're going to enter, typically the 1st floor. So typically, the 1st floor is what you need, and that's it. And then maybe a camera for the outside. Maybe 2 cameras on the outside, depending on how you're set up. If it's a big house, you may want 2 cameras. The camera itself is a 160-degree range, so 1 camera can cover, a whole side of the house. It's a 160-degree camera, so I don't need more than 1 to cover the front. And my back is on a hill, so I really only have to worry about one side. I don't have to worry about the back side. But for some of you, you might want to, cover the back and cover the front. Cameras are, I think I'm not finalized yet, but I'm thinking like $249. Yeah, around there. What Brax level membership would need? Nothing. Just no special Brax level membership if you don't have a subscription. But if you want to do a subscription, then I don't have a plan yet, but there will be a subscription for people wanting to do the video. If you want to take video for Brax, there will be a subscription of some sort. I don't know what it is. Because it's gigabytes of data. So probably like a social vision plan. Yes. Not sure. I don't know. $10 a month maybe. I don't know. The cameras are a little spendy. Well, if you see the quality, then you'll understand why. No, that's not spendy for what I'm talking about, because it's because it has everything's already in there, including the memory. So it's not a camera. It's not a live video camera, Rob. It's a camera with storage. So it's actually a full computer. So your videos are stored on it. For all the videos are stored on there for however length of time can fit on the 32 gigabytes of memory on there. So it can store it for let's say it's a week of videos. So all the videos are stored there. It's not like a because there's some live cameras you can buy, and then you have to control it from a computer. Then you have to download the photos, the videos on your computer if you want, and there's so much accessories you need. It doesn't work like that. This one is complete. You leave it alone, and you connect to it on the internet, on your not the internet, but on the LAN, and you can watch the videos. It connects directly to the computer on the camera, and all the storage is on the camera. Everything is built in. You don't have to do anything. If you have multiple cameras, they all work together, and you don't have to do anything special. They just detect that you're all. Well, you have to put in your Brax account on it. Yeah, you just have to log in and say what your Brax account is, meaning your handle, like Rob Braxman, and then it will send all the videos to that account. So that's all you need. Put your Brax account on it, and then if your account is activated to handle it, then we'll take the data, and there you go, done. If you want that, it's optional. You don't have to do it. Do it for free. You do not have to do that. You don't have to pay a dime. You can just plug it in and use it. And what if I want to watch my driveway? What kind of notification will I get? Does it have sensors? Yes. So this one is my driveway, Mr. H. So you need to buy one unit and at least one camera. Or if you want to buy just the alarm and not the camera. So, at the very least, buy the alarm, for break-ins. The camera is for perimeter security, so that you would know what's going on before they break in. Thank you, Rudy. So anyway, Mr. H, there's the camera, and it's off my driveway, and you can see that it's and those are videos. So each video is motion. So if there's a video, there's motion. If there's no video, there's no motion. So if nothing's happening, you don't get any videos. So anytime it detects a video, you can just buy the unit without the camera, correct? You can buy whatever you want. You can just buy a camera only or buy the alarm only. Right. If you buy the camera only, then you go to your home computer or your phone, and you can access the videos from your home computer or your phone. If you have the both, then you get notifications either way. Notifications are always free, so you get notifications of if you don't have an account for storing videos, you will at least get a notification of motion on the camera or the unit. And windy days keep you busy. Windy days doesn't have any impact because windy days are not RF, are not infrared. So this camera does not respond to leaves moving. It doesn't care. It has to be a heat source, which means a human being or a car or an airplane. So if a jet is flying up in the air, it will register it as well. So if a plane gets into the sensor area, it will fire, and typically it will fire if there's a car and obviously people. So can you hide from it? Yeah, if you can hide behind the car, you will not get detected. How do you do that? that's pretty hard since to get to the behind the car, you got to expose yourself. So, so I don't know how you hide, but it's hard. I'm trying to clarify myself if wrong. So what am I missing there? Enlighten up. Okay, indoor alarm for movement and audio warnings. Correct. That's correct. So the regular alarms are only magnet signal breakers remove and not cameras. So the regular alarms, typically they will install a infrared motion thing, and then it covers a narrow area. This is different because this is radar. Now, what's the advantage of radar? Is 360 degrees, people. This is a 360-degree device. If you get within 360 degrees of this within a range of 12 feet, you will fire it. Yes, this is a fisheye lens with night vision. So at night, it goes into infrared. So that's part of the reason for the cost. It goes night vision, it goes infrared, and then in the daytime, it goes daytime. It has a mechanical IR filter. So I'm trying to go high end here. Got all that on there. And you do have to mount IR illuminators. You have to buy those separately. IR illuminators if you want your night vision to be good. And I bought them. They're about 20 bucks, 24 bucks. So I have some IR illuminators to light up like 80 feet, 100 feet. Your old motion was under the rug thingy. It sucked if you step on it. Yeah, this is kind of neat because one of this will cover, and it's the fact is how do you turn it on? Just press the button and leave the house. So it's pretty simple. What was that, Mr. H? I need something for when people are close in my driveway or when my mailman is at my box. Yeah, so that exactly works. My camera works like that. Will the subscription be monthly or paid by the year? I don't know. Entire Meyer, I don't know. Probably monthly, I imagine. Probably like a PayPal monthly. I told a family member start taking piano, take lessons, even though it's late in life, because of you. Thank you, Rob. You're a musician. So yeah, I learned piano at a late age, and yeah. So yeah, I hope I spent a lot of time on this. This has been a labor of love for the last few months. I've been working on this so hard because it's so exciting. Because when it actually works and you get it working, especially doing all the electronics on here, it's pretty fun to do all the electronics, and to actually see it work and make it work better than all the products I paid over the years. I have been buying security products over the years, and I said, "Suck this." Why am I paying other people to do some sucky product when I can make one for myself that I can share with you? Because I am an expert at being a user of security products, and I might as well design my own. So I like you are. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. So anyway, we're starting production now, hopefully to be ready by October. So thank you, and lighten up. Thank you. Zoc. What are you zucking, Mr. H? What are you zucked about, Mr. H? So anyway, I'm excited by this, and if you are, then I'm feeling like I'm not wasting my time, because it's the profit margin on each one of these is pretty minimal, considering the kind of effort it makes to make this. So So I'm hoping it's worth it because I have to sell a lot of these for it to be worth it. Much more than the VPN. So I have a VPN product, and compared to this is like a lot more volume and a lot more work. But hopefully more easy to more palatable to people. They understand it more than the VPN. VPN, it's a concept that many people didn't realize is important because they don't get that. So, anyway, with the infrared camera, we can see ghosts now. Jack from Twitter got Zuck. Yeah, I saw that. I'm excited about his live that you don't have to. Yes, I'm excited too. I don't have a subscription. There's subscriptions are only if you want to see your videos offline. But there's no subscription to a monitoring company because that's kind of zucked up. I'm running the Windows update on one machine right now. It's cumbersome as zuck. So tomorrow I'll talk more about phones again. We're gonna go back to phones tomorrow, and because of my video on the Librem 5 and then my video on Androids, rooting Androids. Some people have asked me about rooting Androids, and there's a lot of questions about that, and we will get into that tomorrow. So we'll get into that and talk about the phone options because some people are not clear exactly on should I get Librem 5? Should I get this thing called Graphene OS? Should I use Lineage OS and root my phone? Should I stick to a standard Android and all this? And what about new iPhone? Oh gosh, too late for love. I was paying $40 a month. Stupid. I spent thousands of dollars, and I was like, why am I paying thousands of dollars a year on this? Why? So as long as I have the videos and all the data on my computer, then I don't need to. I can make my own decision if I'm going to call the police. So, topical Twitter questions because of Jack 2. We'll see. I don't know what I can say. So Jack got hacked because he probably didn't protect his password. So, I mean, what else can I say? Can't do much. So I'm going to. What was that, Mr. H? I'm going to call Purism and have them send you a phone for free. Zuck, Mr. H, they should. Yes, dang, these monitoring companies drain your wallet. Too expensive. Yes, too late for love. So that's, I can guarantee that I canceled my my subscriptions, but, if you're going to try to break in, I'm covered. I got this as on my subscription plan. Kayvon said he wasn't hacked. Well, Kayvon is in charge of that, so we'll see. What happened to Google Glass? They zucked you, so people know that you're being zucked with Google Glass, so people didn't like it. So this is my security. I just need an alarm to say, my alarm fired up. Okay. Safety off. The alarm fired, so something's going on. Let me make sure safety is off. And there you go. Are those by subscription too? What is by subscription? My intent is that you don't get any subscription to anything. Yeah, this is the subscription plan. Enlighten Up and Rob. Subscription plan. It's free. Subscription to yourself. Right? It's free. Alarm on. Safety. There you go. Entire Mari got the routine. Alarm on. So this is a 1911, so that's safety. There's safety on. And I said, ooh, alarm. Safety off. So alarm, safety off. Okay? And then rock it. Make sure the rock is heard. Okay? rack it, and then you're all set. So that's you know, what do you need all this ducking? $40 a month to pay ADT sound effect for alarm maybe. Yeah, you need like a. That's why I want a shotgun. Why shotgun? Because it makes a loud racking sound for the shotgun. I have one of those subscription plans too. Yes, you need these kinds of subscription plans. YouTube probably doesn't like that. Safety first. Yes. Safety. Safety on. Okay? And then if you're not using it, there. It's, there you go. But this is a 1911, so in 1911 you actually, you store it cocked. Distinctive sound is still of the night. Yes. Alarm. You don't need to have the alarm system fire up some loud siren. Just rack the zucking shotgun. That's the alarm. You may want to amplify it. Amplify the shotgun sound. The shotgun racking. I've had a shotgun since the California East. Really? Wow. You should confuse the Periscope viewers. Put some fruit under the barrel of that 45. Looks like an airsoft gun to me. Yes, David, it is. It's a Colt replica, and you can see it's pretty authentic looking, and it's metal. It's pretty authentic looking. It's airsoft, yes. But you know, even the you can actually disassemble like a real 1911, and yep, everything works. You can disassemble this like a real 1911. Everything's the same. So you know, if you don't want me to pop the springs here, you can do it. So everything is there. See, everything comes off. Springs come off, and you can disassemble like a real one. But it's see, now I can't put it back on now. Zuck. Now I'm gonna mess it up. There. Click. Okay. So how do you know it's not a real one? Because it doesn't have, it's airsoft. Other than that, it pretty much feels like the real deal. How do I know? It's not real. But it feels like the real deal. The weighting of it, a real one is going to be heavier in the barrel. This one is lighter on the barrel. So the balance is different. The real one is heavier here. So, other than that, I love 1911s. Is the alarm pretty loud when it goes off? No, too late for love. The alarm is the alarm has it's just a beep until you plug it in to your, it says warning, it says alarm, it's actually in words, and it's plugged into the headphone jack in there, which you can plug into an amplifier. So if you have one of those local speakers, you know, like for $15, you plug in a speaker in there, and it can go pretty loud in your house to say alert, as you heard on my case here. So it's plugged into that. It doesn't trigger any siren or anything, because whatever sound it's programmed to do on the speaker. Yeah, Bluetooth speaker can work too, yes. I haven't programmed it for a Bluetooth speaker, but Bluetooth is built into I think you may need a Bluetooth I guess you don't need anything. I just haven't tried triggering Bluetooth with it. Because Bluetooth is part of the pie. I just, the only thing Bluetooth I use on it is a keyboard. And I don't have to do anything differently when I set it up. Yeah, this one is hooked up to a small speaker. There's a speaker inside, so you can hear it, but it's not very loud. Kind of like an Amazon Echo. If you want it to be loud, plug in an external speaker. And then you can make it loud. And then you can choose what the sound is. Like right now it says warning. I mean, police alerted. So what it says right now. But if you want to just be a loud siren of some sort, and you can put anything, any sound you want on it. But it's too late. If I were the bad guy and I said, oh, there's the alarm, I'm going to unplug this, it doesn't matter because once you get to this, the alarm's already on your phone. So are you personally making each one of these units? Yes. At the moment, yes. But hopefully not. At the moment, I am personally building each one. At the moment. And then I have help, of course, but at the moment I'm building the first set, and then hopefully I can get help to build the rest of them. It is a lot of work, yes. But we all have to make a living, so that's what I'm gonna have to do broadcast and go soldering all day. I don't have to program anymore, just as soldering. So the software, of course, is very important, and I spent a lot of time building the software, and the software is working perfectly now. So all I have to do is build because it's not going to change once I've set it up. I've been testing it for a few weeks now. The camera's being tested for weeks. At least you work for yourself, no boss. Yes. So anyway, what'd you say, Starlight? Good question. I would have. The barrel would be too hot and cause the barrel to explode. Would be interesting to see that, though. Maybe with the right kind of plastic in a low caliber bullet. Okay, Rudy. Yes, you can. In answer to correct Starlight here. Yes, you can 3D print a gun. Yes, it may only work one time for a 3D printed plastic gun, but you can actually 3D print in carbon fiber. Yes, there's a model. You can get the model. You can 3D print a gun right now. I have a 3D printer. Yes, I could 3D print a gun, but it probably won't last unless you do one that's carbon fiber, and they actually have carbon fiber material. So that should work. So carbon fiber is available, and then you can 3D print your gun with carbon fiber. Will I try it? Zuck, no. No, it's not any it's fixed. I think I saw one, it's 9 mil. Most of them are 9 mil. The models I've seen are 9 mil and 2022. So I'm sure the 22 will work just fine, but the 9 mil may need carbon fiber. Yeah, so you can print as many guns as you want on a 3D printer, but it may only be one use. That sounds like, dang, my tripod is carbon fiber. Yeah, so they have carbon fiber material. You can actually 3D print one, and I'm curious, could I actually do that? So what about the brass? Well, the brass is the brass. Are there any metal parts in it? Actually, I didn't see any metal parts in it on the carbon fiber one. So, and it should be sturdy enough. It's not gonna. So, will it melt? This is some of the questions. Will it melt? Well, at least for one-time use. And can you aim it accurately? I don't know, because I am not gonna go to the firing range and go fire that thing. I'd be scared. So yeah, I mean, it will fire, but can you use it more than once? That is a question I can't answer for you. If you aim it, will it explode in your face? I have no idea. Let's stick to the real ones. Let's stick to the ones that are made of metal. So, hello, Lenny PR. Lenny PR, you better remind me to reset after the broadcast. You won't, and I'll forget. One of you remind me. Reset. Mama Go. Okay, the brass will set of a metal detector, right? Yeah, but you can spread it around so it's not in the same place. Made of polymer these days. Yeah, what do you think a Glock is? A Glock is a plastic gun. Suck. It's not like these 1911s. These 1911s are metal. These are like steel. These suckers are steel. Right? So, how are you going to celebrate your Labor Day weekend? Lenny PR making these. I'm going to be soldering these for you. Making sure I'm ready to ship a few of these. So that's what I'm going to be doing on Labor Day weekend. I am not going to be having fun. I'm going to try to what's a these? Periscope. Like you get in Periscope for free. Lenny PR, why do I spend so much money doing this with all the parts inside for free? Why should I do that? Mother Zuckers. Sig Sauer are mostly plastic. Yeah. SAUER. Sig is SIG. SAUER. Yeah, they're, just like Glock. Glocks are plastic too. Nothing is free, man. Tinkerballs is my alarm system. Thank you for looking forward to tomorrow's broadcast. Yeah, so tomorrow I want to talk about what is this device? Goodness. We'll discuss it again tomorrow. Okay, so Tinker just an alarm system. I've been showing this every night. Goodness. Okay, one last if it fires up, I'll show it. I'll watch the replay. No, you won't. Oh, I guess I unplugged. I took the it needs to reboot. I took the SD card out. So I kind of ruined it. So Zig is not Z, it's S. Is there running Hamfest on Japan? Did you saw the new rigs from ICOM? No, I did not. That sounds interesting. Lenny, do you have your DMR running yet? Real 1%ers is here. Okay, so how ironic, I get an ExpressVPN ad before watching yours. It's not IPVanish. It's not IPVanish. That's funny. How you doing, Peter? Okay, so anyway, we'll catch you tomorrow, and then we'll talk about the a little bit of putting into perspective some of the stuff I've been talking about on the phone, all the phone stuff I've been talking about. Like rooting your phone and Librem 5 and Lineage OS and Graphene OS and all these different options, and why they work, why they don't, why you should do it one way or not the other, so you understand kind of a big picture view, so you understand what to do and what the problems are with phone and phone security. So, okay, so that's the plan for tomorrow. I was Peter, you're my friend, Peter. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Peter. I always consider you my friend, Peter. So just come on by. So anyway, glad to have you here tonight, and I will see you tomorrow, and we will discuss more phone things tomorrow. And again, thank you for all the new subscribers I've been getting on my YouTube channel. It's pretty awesome. And I will try to reset the South server, Lenny PR. The monitoring companies are a wallet. Oh, yes. I don't want to drain your wallet there. Rob, do not want to drain your wallet. Okay, good night, my friends, and I'll see you tomorrow.